In today's video, we want to find out what happens when you put plants in a freeze dryer.
With in-person schooling around the country closed down, we've partnered with our friends from IPVO to bring you Teacher Tuesday, where we shout out some of those educators who are going above and beyond for their students.
Today's teacher is Sarah Bowman from Smithfield, North Carolina, who teaches middle school earth science.
We reached out to Sarah and asked her to share a little bit about how she has been dealing with the changes this school year, and here's what she had to say.
I love teaching because I'm able to be a part of my students' growth as they're figuring out who they are, what they're passionate about, and where they're going to go in their life's journey. As we've been thrown into a digital world, things have been different, but I've been thinking about ways that I can keep my content engaging and exciting for my students. And so the first way I do this is by thinking about, would I want to complete whatever it is that I've assigned my students? And if not, then I'm thinking about ways that I can make it more engaging and exciting for them. And we know not everything in science is going to be fun, but we do want to think about ways that we can continue to spark that wonder for our students. And so a couple ways that I have done this is through digital lab days, breakout rooms, digital explorations, and even bringing in virtually one of our local meteorologists to show us a behind-the-scenes tour and give us some Q&A answers as we were wrapping up our weather unit. And so though virtual learning has been different, we are still finding ways to make it work. Thank you!
To help, we'll be sending her an IPVO DoCam to help her with her remote teaching.
So Sarah, keep an eye out in the mail as we're sending one your way.
Big thank you to all the teachers out there, and if you'd like to get an IPVO camera for yourself or a teacher you know, go ahead and click the link in the description below.
We have done some experiments with freeze-drying plants. We have not freeze-dried plants. We've freeze-dried plants in the form of aloe vera leaves. That's not a very exhaustive study, though.
We've done pickles too.
Oh, right. Well, we've done some plant-based food.
Yes.
Watermelons.
Fruits, yeah, lemons.
But we haven't done flowers.
We haven't, and this is something that I was very curious about. Now, recently I was hanging up some flowers to dry, and the way that you can do that is you tie a string to them, you hang them from the ceiling upside down, and they will dry. But they lose a lot of their color, they're very brittle, and I want to know if there's any other way that you can freeze dry plants and preserve them. There's other ways. I think you can put them in silica pellets, you can press them in between pages of books, but we have a freeze dryer, so why not try that out too? Here's the basic idea. We have several different types of plants, and we want to see what happens when we freeze dry them. Will they be able to survive the process? Will they be preserved? What's going to happen?
So here we've got a nice spread. Let's see. Halancoidblosfeldiana.
This is a creeping myrtle, that's our easiest to say, and we have an orchid. So lots of different types of plants, and we even had some roses from the yard. Now this is what sort of spawned the whole idea. Was we have shown demonstrations on how liquid nitrogen can freeze organic material, and we'll put a leaf or a flower into liquid nitrogen, wait until it stops boiling, and then you smack it on something and it shatters. And it's so cool, doesn't lose any of its color or anything like that. So I want to know what happens if we put it through a freeze drying process instead. I
am very curious to know if this works as a sort of preservation. You can hang dry some types of flowers. You just put them upside down in a fairly dry environment for, it takes months. But I'm curious if freeze drying can just speed up that process. And I've never tried it. Part of what I'm curious about is a lot of things that we freeze dry really need to be in contact with the trays so that they can warm up. But regardless of that, I'm curious, like, will we get any freeze drying result? Like, a flower, no matter how we lay this down, not every petal is going to be perfectly in contact with the tray. There's just not a way to do that. But I am curious to see how much it will freeze dry. Maybe it will still work. And how cool would it be if you can preserve them just perfectly like this?
Yeah, I want to know what happens. So can I freeze dry this little succulent plant? Can I just have it forever on my shelf? Not like a plastic plant, but like it was a real plant.
For anyone unfamiliar with the freeze drying process, we do have this Harvest Right freeze dryer. And what it does is first it freezes really cold, way colder than a regular freezer. It gets down to like 50 or 60 degrees Fahrenheit below zero. Then it pulls all the air out of the chamber, creates a very low pressure, almost vacuum in there. And then after it's down at that temperature, it starts to heat up. It's got physical pads in contact with these trays that electrically warm. So all of the water in the plants would be frozen really solid. Then as it warms up at that low pressure, the water goes through a phase change and it goes from frozen to a gas without ever passing through a liquid phase. So it's sublimating. And when it does that, it leaves everything dry because it doesn't ever get wet before it evaporates away. The shape is supposed to be held beautifully, and we've seen that result with a lot of things. We just haven't tried it with these types of plants.
I want to know if it's gonna keep the color of the flowers. Is the chlorophyll still going to be there? What are we gonna see and what's it going to remove? All right, it's been a weekend.
We let these completely run through their cycle in the freeze dryer, and we've got some interesting variation in results here.
This is just strange. So this is the first one I picked up. This was the orchid leaf.
Piece of leaf you cut off of this?
Yeah, and instead it didn't freeze dry all the way, which makes sense.
It looks like it's still floppy.
It is, but it's like you would freeze it and it would die. But look at it. It looks like some of the liquid did try to come out.
Just comparing what was and what is. All the green color.
The green is just gone.
Which is not true for everything.
No, I'm actually surprised with how much like chlorophyll stayed in some of these, and it is really cool to see. I know that there are other ways that you can, you can dry plants.
So while this one did not really dry out and still has a lot of flexibility, these dried very completely. Like
and beautifully.
That leaf just crumbles into powder. They're not terribly
sturdy.
Yeah, that's the word. I was gonna say stable. It's like, no, we did stabilize them. We didn't make them sturdy. So this is very fragile.
But it's so pretty and it's still so green. That's impressive to me. I'm also very impressed with how the flowers turned out. So some of these really did hold their color, and some of them even their shape.
That's not bad. It's not exactly the same. It's, shriveled up a little bit, but it looks cool.
But look at those orchids. Those are my favorite right now. Those made me jump up and down this morning when I saw them.
Now some shape has definitely changed here. We don't have like the nice, smooth, perfect surfaces that we did before. We've got some wrinkles. Inner portion here, that has shriveled a little bit more. So we've lost some detail of what's happening there. We actually had the petals start to delaminate.
Interesting.
Now something else I'm thinking is interesting is if you do look at the difference in color, this is a slightly more blue shade, or it's lost some of the red.
Yep.
We also have this, which was a very nice orange and is now almost completely yellow, so we've also lost red out of this flower. Now the shape, I would say, is a concern. When you traditionally dry flowers like roses, you'll hang them upside down and that helps them keep their shape. And obviously we have lost a little of that. It's become smushed, but it only took like one cycle of the freeze dryer, which is 24 to 48 hours instead of 4 months.
Yeah.
I think if we had a good way of holding all the flowers in their shape as they freeze dried, we could get a really cool result like this. Yeah. I'm not sure what the best way to do that would be, but the fact that we do still have some of the shape and a lot of the color, and these really nothing should happen to them from here. I am gonna try eating this. It already didn't taste good fresh, so now I think it's gonna not taste good and it's just gonna like fall to powder in my mouth, but I was right. Doesn't taste good and it fell to powder in my mouth.
There's no flavor. Well, maybe.
There's flavor. It's unpleasant. All right, that was weird and gross, but I want to put one of these petals on some water and see what happens as it rehydrates. Maybe for multiple flowers.
Yeah, I like it.
Well, it floats a lot.
Shocker. Wow.
Repelling water beautifully. Look at that. Look at the water just beating up on it. Getting sort of the same water repellent effect.
Fascinating.
The texture of the flower petals now that, well, probably before it was dry, but now even more so that it is dry, is very hydrophobic. So we do have some hydrophobic tendencies on the fresh petal, but not as much. It's not beating up as high. So we've really accentuated the effect by drying it.
Oh, well.
What? No, it kind of smooshed it.
I think
but it did.
Oh.
That absorbed the water kind of back into it.
Okay, so the rose did something weird.
And you're also bleeding color out. Oh, and check this out. Where it started to absorb the water a little bit.
It looks
I think
like
it's actually
watercolor.
absorbing it from the other side, but it's getting in and spreading out and pulling the color with it.
To no one's shock, I want to try burning these. So I want to try with one of these fresh leaves first and just kind of see the difference here. Oh, it pops. It's very angry about this.
Boiling the water.
It's shrinking the leaves, as it boils that liquid inside. That is very strange though that it shrinks the leaves. I've never noticed that before. Let's try with our larger but much drier. And it's on fire. Oh, it's very much on fire. It is on fire.
Those leaves go up.
That took nothing. All right, so again, it kind of looks like it's shrinking a little bit. It's just sort of wilting the flower so fast. It's just an unhappy bruised petal at this point. Any guesses?
It will burn quickly and you should be ready to drop it.
Yup, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Neat, neat, neat. Oh, whoa, that smells way worse than the vine.
That does not smell good. It doesn't smell good to burn flower petals, guys. See, now you're just going for bad smells.
I'm just seeing what happens.
That's neat. Are you watching? You can see it traveling through the capillaries, the boiling. The most metal rose ever. Guys, is there anything else you want to see us put in our freeze dryer? We have done a lot of really cool stuff, but if you've got any suggestions, we'd love to hear them.
Flowers worked kind of better than I thought they would. It was interesting to see the different types of leaves that did or did not freeze dry. Like there's the sort of encapsulated leaves which don't freeze dry, and then there's the leaves where like all the veins are fully like exposed to the surface that did freeze dry completely.
Yep.
And yeah, it was fun to see that variation.
Guys, if you like that kind of content, make sure to check out our other videos here, and we'll see you in the next one. Talk to you then.